In the 2024 season, the OKC Thunder finished as the #1 seed in the Western Conference, while the Boston Celtics stood atop the entire league, not only as the #1 seed, but as the reigning champions.
Stolen by Tatum. Tatum goes up and lays it up and in.
And to the 2024 NBA champion, Boston Celtics.
Now, in the first stretch of the 2025 season, Jason Tatum and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, both in their prime, have emerged as two of the league's top 3 MVP contenders.
By the Thunder. Shai going to work. Step back shot. Ellis on him. And he puts it in. Tatum.
Their performances have been nothing short of dominant game after game, fueling expectations that they'll once again lead their teams to the top of the league. But,
As soon as November 1st hits, you got the green light. There's the backdoor cut, and it's healed.
Curry happened, as he often does. It was a head knocker road trip.
Very often on a simple shot fake.
Curry all the time. Nails it. Steph Curry again from downtown.
The Golden State Warriors come to Boston. They keep the perfect road trip alive.
ladies and gentlemen, something extraordinary is awakening in Golden State once again. The greatest team of the modern NBA era is rising from the ashes of basketball purgatory, reclaiming their place at the pinnacle of the sport.
7. Buddy Hield bombs away a 3. Got it! 20 buckets!
It's still early in the season, and in the ever unpredictable world of basketball, anything remains possible. But the Warriors, led by the indomitable Steph Curry, are reminding the world who they truly are.
Draymond to Steph to end the half, and he got it.
With each game, they embody the championship pedigree woven in their DNA, exceeding every expectation and silencing the critics. And as of today, to borrow the words of a wise man, they're hotter than fish grease.
GP2! The lob to Kuminga, perfectly done. Steph, that trail sidestep 3. Good! Welcome to the Warriors world right now.
Before we get into the heart of this video, let me take a moment to share something juicy. I watched every preseason game, every pass, every play, and the Warriors didn't just impress. They went perfect. Not 4 for 4, not 5 for 5, but a spectacular 6 for 6. In their ball movement, team chemistry, I saw echoes of 2022, a team whole, complete, and unstoppable. Inspired, I created a video titled "The NBA's Worst Nightmare is Back." The response? Incredible. Nearly 6,000 likes and a stellar 95% approval rating. Still though, despite the massive, overwhelming approval, there's a few trolls. And just like how Stephen A. Smith responded to his current ongoing drama with Kevin Durant, I'm not just going to stand back. The first comment came from someone with the username RunTheNumbers9698, who simply said, "You are a very silly person." To this commenter, here's my response. Well, let's see. You clicked on a Warriors video, and as of today, they're sitting at the very top of the Western Conference, the only NBA team ranked in the top 4 for both offensive and defensive ratings, and they hold the #2 spot in the NBA Power Rankings. So yeah, I've run the numbers, and maybe you should too. The second comment came from someone with the perplexing username Bismarck Boahen, who wrote, "We're waiting patiently for the 'Who's Your Daddy' part to unfold," laughing emoji. Now, for those out of the loop, in my last Warriors video, I predicted that this season, Steph Curry would end up telling Jason Tatum, "Who's your daddy?" There's a lot I could say in response to this comment, but as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and a video, well, that's worth 1,000 pictures. So instead of talking, I'll just roll the tape.
Step back three, and Steph. Draymond to a cutting Steph Curry to lay it up and in.
The third comment from Jay Bautista read, "You didn't substantiate why the Thunder won't beat the Warriors." Well, did you not catch what went down on Sunday, November 10th?
Extra pass down to the corner to Wiggins. Wiggins contested and somehow hung in the air long enough as he...
Andrew Wiggins literally drove straight to the rim and sent the Thunder's best player, Chet Holmgren, to the emergency room. And then, the Warriors didn't just beat the Thunder, they humiliated them. First by going up 30 points, then teasing them with a glimmer of hope, only to snatch their souls right back.
Milton will keep it. Curry, sidestep three. Stephen Curry again.
That said, I never like seeing injuries, and I'm glad to see Chet's in good spirits and keeping his sense of humor intact. Anyway, that's all I've got for the LeBron James fanboys. Now, let's get down to business. For the past few seasons, the Golden State Warriors faced one glaring problem. Sure, they still had the greatest weapon the NBA has ever seen, but there was a catch. He was their only weapon. Whenever he got injured or sat on the bench, the team crumbled, looking more like the 2020 Warriors stuck at the league's basement. But this year, things were different.
Steph is hurt, came up hobbled. Steph is limping. That is not a good sign.
When Steph went down with those non-contact injuries, I glanced at the schedule and thought to myself, this is it, the moment of truth. They were set to face the New Orleans Pelicans in back-to-back games led by Zion Williamson, the so-called mini Shaq, who just a month ago declared, "I'm out for straight vengeance this season." But talk is cheap, and despite his bold words, the Curry-less Warriors dismantled them.
Top. Jackson Davis, here comes Moody!
Even without their superstar Steph, the Warriors put on a clinic, outclassing the Pelicans and overwhelming them with ease.
7 assists, 12 points. Oh, Kuminga! In and out! Yeah, he wants to...
I expected the Warriors to be good this season, but I didn't realize they'd be this good. Even without Steph Curry, they didn't just beat someone determined to get revenge, they completely snatched his soul. If that wasn't impressive enough, in their next game, the Warriors faced a surging Rockets team fresh off a win against the Mavericks, a game where both Luka and Kyrie dropped around 30 points. And yet, the Curryless Warriors took care of business, beating the Rockets too.
Shot clock winding down. Kuminga in on Green, the turnaround. Good.
It was unreal. Buddy Hield was incredible as always, doing his thing out there. Honestly, it feels like the Warriors have gotten a version of prime Klay back, at least on offense, with the way Buddy is playing. Sure, 18 points per game might not sound insane, but when you're shooting 50% from the field and an absurd 49% from three, that's a game changer. Splash, splash, Buddy, baby.
Hield three.
Why not? Why not?
In the first 10 games of the season, the Warriors faced their first real test, and they passed. Next came what I'd call an anger management game for Draymond, going up against his old teammate Poole. Surprisingly, he kept his composure and passed with flying colors. But once that game was behind them, the second test was looming just ahead. A road trip against the Celtics, Cavaliers, and Thunder. These are three teams firmly in the championship conversation this season, and the Warriors faced them in rapid succession, back to back to back. While they aced the first test with flying colors, which felt more like a pop quiz. This was more like the final exam of the first semester. Against the Celtics, the Warriors embodied their mantra, strength in numbers. Yes, Curry was his usual electrifying self, but this was a complete team effort, the kind they needed to take down the defending champions, and they delivered brilliantly.
Alley-oop, beautiful pass. Jackson Davis gets it from Kuminga.
Just look at the bench. 3 players scored in double figures, showcasing the depth that sets this team apart. On the other hand, this game was personal for Jason Tatum. All summer, he endured criticism after being benched during the Olympics, and he came out with something to prove to Steve Kerr. He was locked in, dropping 32 points on an efficient 10 for 12 from the field. But in the end, even with Tatum's best efforts, Steph Curry reminded him exactly who's his daddy.
Curry all the time, nails it! Steph Curry again from downtown.
Against the Cavaliers, it was one of those games you just have to flush and move on.
Curling for three. You know what we talk about.
Sometimes a team gets red hot and simply can't miss. And in a league where it's all about making or missing shots, there's not much you can do about it. That's just the NBA. Then came the Thunder, and the Warriors responded with the heart of champions. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the charge, the Thunder took like a team ready to shake things up this season. But the Warriors weren't impressed. They dismantled them in dominant fashion.
That trail sidestep three. Good!
This game was a perfect display of what the Warriors can do when everything clicks. Sure, there was a brief scare when they let a 30-point lead slip dangerously close, but in the end, a win is a win. And this one sent a message that the Warriors are back. After this game came the game of games against the defending Western Conference champions. But more than that, it was the return of the Splash Brother, the return of the captain, the return of 37 points in a quarter, the return of Klay Thompson. I'll have a full video on this game soon, but let's just take a moment to appreciate what went down. The Warriors went up against the defending Western Conference champions at full strength. Luka doing his thing, Kyrie on the floor, Derek Lively back in action, and Klay Thompson absolutely torching it from beyond the arc.
Big time triple.
And yet, the Warriors still pulled out the win? Sheesh, guys. This wasn't just a game. This was a classic, a duel of the Splash Brothers that will be talked about for years to come.
Curry three. A little bit of a point.
Stay tuned because I'll be breaking it all down in a full video dropping in just a few days. Anyway, Mike Dunleavy Jr. is nothing short of a genius. A year ago, the team was in shambles, with critics pointing out every flaw in their armor. They were too old, too small, not athletic enough. Yet, in just 2 seasons, Dunleavy has completely reshaped the narrative, turning everything around. Of course, a bit of luck will be crucial moving forward, especially with NBA stars dropping left and right due to injuries. But so far, things are looking great. What makes this Warriors team special is their incredible depth. Being 13 deep means everyone can give their all without burning out.
Domingo, what a beautiful lob throw.
Think about this. Steph Curry isn't even playing more than 30 minutes per game this season. In fact, not a single Warrior is. Steve Kerr is running this squad like an Olympic rotation, always keeping 5 fresh players on the floor and keeping Jason Tatum unhappy. And the results? They're already paying off in a big way.
Bombs away a three. Got it! Money buckets!
Anyway, shifting gears. Are you curious about the complete latest drama between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole? The tension between them was impossible to miss during that game at Capital One Arena. It was clear to everyone watching that this wasn't just another basketball game, it was personal. If you want the full story on how it all unfolded, click right here and I'll break it all down for you.